Hey everybody, how's it going? It's been a while since I've been on here with my podcast. Last time I was on here, I was letting you guys know I was doing the Dexter Jackson Classic, the Masters Division 50 and over, July 22nd. Things are going pretty good. I got to June 25th. That was like 3.5 weeks, about 3 weeks actually, from my show. I was doing pretty good. Um, haven't really mastered how to put the slides on here yet, so I'll just give you a quick shot. This was my Thursday, I believe the 22nd, 23rd. Check-in photo with my coach. Looked pretty good. Still had almost 3 weeks to dial it in. Uh, Not too bad. Detail was coming in pretty good. He had me doing some extra cardio. June 26th the 25th, Sunday. I had an hour and a half cardio that morning. I did the half hour in the morning, came back in the afternoon, did the other hour. Got 13 minutes into the last hour. I've been tired during cardio before, dragging during cardio before. I've never experienced pain doing cardio before. I had the worst pain I've ever felt in my life in my lower abdomen. Freaked the fuck out. Stopped the treadmill, got off the treadmill, and I could barely even stand up. Started going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my fucking God. And my wife came running in going, are you okay? What's going on? I don't know. I'm in so much goddamn pain right now. And she was panicking. What can I do? I'm like, I don't know. I can't move. I can't breathe. I can't find a comfortable spot. I couldn't stand comfortably. Sitting down wasn't an option. Went to the bathroom, tried to lean on something. Worst pain is I just miserable. Couldn't sit down. Finally, she helped me sit down on the toilet, and it was just crazy pain. Tried to go into the bedroom, lay down in the bed, and rest for a minute. Miserable pain. She got me up. Probably the worst mistake. I'm like, let's just try. I'll try some Epsom salts. Put a bunch of Epsom salts in the tub, hot water. I'll soak. See if that helps take this away. Once I got into the tub, I couldn't get back out at first. It was miserable goddamn pain. Finally got out, dried off, got my shorts on, got to the recliner, sitting in the recliner. She's like, I'm going to call the ambulance. I was like, don't call the ambulance. Don't call the ambulance. Give me a few minutes. About 20 minutes to a half hour later, I'm still miserable. Couldn't. I've never been in pain like this before. I've had a lot of painful things happen. Never been in pain like this. So the ambulance finally shows up. Seemed like forever. I've only had them come once before when I was in pain when my back locked up. Never met these two paramedics before. The younger guys, new on the fire department. They'll spiel what's going on. A lot of pain. I just can't. I can't fathom how I'm in so much pain. And they finally said, "Well, we're going to take you to the hospital." Put me in the ambulance. Again, these guys were very, very new to the trade. The last time that I was in the ambulance, when they took me away, one of the paramedics I used to train with at Universal Fitness in Northampton knew me very well. He's like, dude, have you ever had fentanyl before? And I was like, nope. He's like, all right, it's going to help take the edge off the pain. We're going to get to the hospital. You're going to feel better. The last time he's like, what do you weigh? And I was like, 195. He said, we're going to say you weigh 205 and do the dose based on that weight. And I felt pretty good. He put the IV in within like 2 minutes. Before we left the driveway, the fentanyl was in my system. I was starting to relax a little bit. This time, the IV was placed very badly. It took him 10 to 12 minutes to get the IV in. We're almost to the hospital before he gave me the fentanyl. It didn't really do a whole lot. Got to the ER. They're looking at me going, okay, let's hit the doctor to check you out. He's poking and prodding. And I'm thinking in my head, maybe it's just the fish. I had some fish Friday that I had food prepped. It tasted fine. It wasn't bad tasting. It didn't smell fishy. It was a little dry texture. I'm like, maybe it was just a little bit, the fish was kind of bad. I've got food poisoning. And that's what's going on. And he's poking around. I think you over here in your appendix, does that hurt? Nope. It hurt like hell, but I'm like, nope, not really. And he was checking everything out. I'm like, that side feels the same. Left side feels the same as the right. Well, let's do a CAT scan. So they wheel me down to the radiology. They do the CAT scan, administer the IV, put the contrast in, bring me back to the room. Within like 10 minutes, the attending comes back in. He's like, all right, so we're going to admit you, and we're going to have you talk to the surgeon in the morning. I'm like, for what? I don't need a surgeon. He's like, yeah, you've got a perforated appendix. He's like, no, I don't. Yes, you do. And he said, we're going to have to do we're going to do a surgery on you tomorrow. And I was like, no. Absolutely not. And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I have a show to do in 3 weeks. There'll be no surgery, at least until after my show. And he's looking at me going, dude, you're going to die. You've got major infection and pus spewing into your abdominal cavity from your intestines and your ruptured appendix. I got to do this show. You don't understand. I had open heart surgery a year ago. This is on my bucket list. I've been prepping for over a year to do this show. This means the world to me. I'm doing this goddamn show, and then we can do the surgery. It's like, at least talk to the chief of surgery. She's going to come in and talk to you. And she came in. She's like, so what's going on? This is what, no, I can't do surgery. Not until after the show. She said the same thing. Actually, I bet I'm getting ahead of myself. It was another gentleman, not the chief of surgery. He's like, well, there's a huge risk. The longer you wait, the risk increases hourly. It's like, no. He's like, this is really serious. So I said, give me my phone. I'll call my wife. And she's like, just let them admit you and just talk to the surgeon. I was like, all right, you can admit me. I will talk to the surgeon. So they admitted me and got me to the room. They gave me morphine 2 more times before I got to the room. So the pain wasn't too bad. Next morning, chief of surgery comes in. She's talking to me saying, well, theoretically, we could discharge you with just oral antibiotics. And you could postpone the surgery for like 4 to 6 weeks. There is the risk. It's going to, the risk increases like 2 to 5% every 12 hours. But if you're on the antibiotics, maybe it'll be okay. And by this time, the next morning, I'm like, the pain, even with the morphine, was just miserable. I'm like, you know what? I think we'll just do the surgery. I can't even stand up. So they were like, okay, we'll get you in hopefully by the end of the day today. And then we're going to get you in later this morning. So my wife came, sat with me. They got me all prepped for surgery. I won't say the name of the hospital. It was not my first choice of hospital, but it was the closest to my house. The anesthesiologist that came in first was going over all the stuff. And he's like, not much taller than me, probably about 80 pounds lighter than me. And he's like, yeah, we're going to be all set. Nurse comes in. They finish prepping me, get me all set. Wheel me onto the room. Like, okay, can you slide onto this table now? Like, no. I said, I'm in so much fucking pain. I can't move. So you're going to have to take the sheet and slide me over. I can't move. The surgeon, a very lightweight woman. The nurse was an elderly, well, not quite elderly, older woman, very frail. And the anesthesiologists are all trying, well, we're really, can you at least like push with your feet off here? So yeah, it was miserable trying to get on this fucking table. The pain was intense. So they put me out. I come to later in the recovery. They bring me to my room, a little sore. And I'm starving all this time. I haven't eaten since Sunday morning. This is like Monday, late afternoon. And I asked the nurse, can I have some water? I'm parched. So she brought me some water. So would you like something to eat? And how about some toast? So she brought me toast and peanut butter. Got that down. That wasn't bad. Brought me a ginger ale. Wife came and sat with me. And then they brought me stuff later that we'll bring you something for dinner. And I was able to get dinner down the first time. It was like not horrible. It was some kind of pasta with marinara sauce and some meatballs. Wasn't bad. Was able to eat. I was told you'll be, you're bloated. All the CO2 we had to put in you for surgery. You'll be able to feel much better in the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to keep you for a few days because it was perforated. You're going to be on IV antibiotics, the pain meds, and all this other stuff. Okay. So by the next day, I can't go to the bathroom. I've got gas, pains. I can't burp. I can't fart. And I can't shit. I'm like, what is going on? So they bring me breakfast. The most god-awful breakfast I've ever had in my life. It's, literally scrambled eggs about this big. And then a big plate of hash browns. I'm like, why are you feeding me all this fattening fucking carbohydrate shit? I just want protein and, some veggies or something. I couldn't even eat. I got like 2 bites of the eggs down. I couldn't eat the hash browns. They were horrible. Got a little bit of the coffee down. And just like when I was in the surgery, recovery from open heart surgery, they bring you this god-awful food. Why, when I had open heart surgery, they kept coming in before every meal 3 times a day. We're going to take your blood, check your blood sugar. I'm like, why are you checking my blood sugar? I'm not a diabetic. Well, we want to make sure your blood sugar is not above 150. That's going to help with the rehab and the recovery and keep any infection down. And I'm just looking at them like, you want my blood sugar under 150? Did you see what you brought me to eat? Yogurt, fruit cup, orange juice, coffee with sugar. You're giving me nothing but carbohydrates and simple sugars. So it was similar to this other hospital. It was just, I couldn't eat it. They brought me lunch. I couldn't eat it. I got like a bite in. And the food seemed like it was stopping right here. It wouldn't go any further. So I couldn't eat. But finally, this end of the first day, or into the second day, I was finally able to have a bowel movement. Very hard, almost constipated. And then I couldn't go after that. Nothing. Couldn't eat. They kept me there. They kept bringing me the food. And I'm like, nope. So my wife was bringing me my Isolyze protein powder. I was having that with water to have something in my system. And even that was going down really hard. So finally, the surgery was on a Monday the 26th. They sent me home Wednesday about 11:30 a.m. The night before on Tuesday, the girl had come in and said, well, we'll do your menu for tomorrow. What would you like? I'm like, I can't eat that. No offense, the crap you brought me for breakfast, that's nasty. I can't eat that again. She's like, oh, what would you like? I'm like, do you have anything that's low carb or no carb and just protein? They said, we can do an omelet with like cheddar cheese. Like, that's great. Fruit cup, no. Don't want the carbohydrates. So they brought me the egg and a yogurt. I still couldn't get much of it down. Lunch was supposed to be a hamburger with no bread and lettuce with tomato. Dinner was going to be sirloin tips, but after breakfast on Wednesday, they were like, "Yeah, you're going home." So I left at 11:30. My incredible neighbor next door brought my wife and kind enough to transport me home. Still really couldn't eat anything. Late Wednesday night, trying to go to the bathroom, still nothing. And I'm sitting there talking to my wife. I've got the anti-nausea medication, the pain medication, and I'm just kind of complaining to her, bemoaning my situation, going, "I can't believe this. I'm not going to be able to do my show now. I'm miserable. This recovery is worse than the open heart surgery recovery. I can't believe this." I said, "At least thank God I'm not throwing up." And about 10 seconds later, I'm like, I need the bucket. It's like, "Are you going to be sick?" I'm like, "Yep." Start throwing up in the bucket. It's not vomit. It's pure green bile. I'm puking bile for like 6 minutes. Almost a half bucket, trash bucket full of bile. And it seems to subside after that for about a half hour, several times into the night, vomiting bile. Next day, still no bowel movement, still vomiting bile, still can't eat. So she calls the surgeon. "Oh, well, he's vomiting the bile because he's got no food in his system. So just keep trying to feed him. Like, it won't go down. Nothing will go down." So they got to the point. It was Friday morning. My wife's like, "He's miserable. A lot of pain. Can't get comfortable, and bloated like hell. You guys told him 24 to 48 hours. It's been like 96 hours, and he still looks like he's 6 months pregnant." So they're like, "Well, he could have an impaction in his intestines. If he's not better tonight, if he starts to feel worse tonight, come back in, we'll readmit him, and we'll try to work on that impaction." So in the meantime, thank God for, sorry, wrong side, species. Dave Palumbo makes an incredible fiber supplement that I use every day. I started to feel a little backed up, so I was using it twice a day. And at that point, I'm like, the hell with this. I'm using it 3 times a day. 3 times with the Fiberlize, 3 times a day, morning with the midday meal and nighttime. Lots of water. Finally, late Friday into Saturday, the bile stopped coming up, and I was able to actually, I know it's too much information, I was finally able to have decent bowel movements. So like early Saturday morning, 1, 2 in the morning until like 6:30, I was able to get a lot of it out. We were able to go grocery shopping. It was miserable driving, but I was able to do it. Got back home. Still going regularly thanks to the Fiberlize. Able to finally start eating. I had a follow-up during the week after that. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I finally got in there, saw the surgeon. She's like, "Oh, you're healing very well." She's healing all the scars and then the navel. I was like, "Okay, you've got some hard tissue here. That's good. That means it's healing. You're scarring well. You're healing well." It's like, "We were surprised. We thought for sure we'd have to readmit you, but it looks like you did the work at home by yourself." I was like, "Yeah, the Fiberlize worked out great." I'm like, when is this gas going to come out? I'm burping. I can't fart. My wife would tell you, I'm somebody who never has a problem farting, but I can't fart. The gas is not coming out. It's like, "Well, that'll slowly come, and this and that." And in the meantime, I had been talking to a good friend of mine who's a female competitor. well, she's retired now, but she was a female competitor, and she's like, you might still be able to do the show. You're not building up, you're not trying to put on muscle. You've already got the muscle. You're dieting down. You're following your pre-contest diet. Just if you can get on the treadmill, do the cardio, maybe you can still do your show. Because I was pissed that we had paid for the airfare, paid for the show, paid for the stage photos, paid for the backstage pass for my wife, the VIP seats, the hotel. Far too late to start canceling that stuff. I said, maybe you're right. So I talked to my coach. I'm like, well, maybe I could still compete, just do the show. And he's like, dude, are you on too much fucking morphine? It's like, you can't even train your abs for 3 weeks. You can't do any ab work at all for at least 3 weeks from surgery. I don't even want you near the gym for a week and a half. And then you're going to go light. He's like, shut your prep down. We're not doing this. We'll rebuild. When you're healed, we'll do another show. This one's over. It's done. So we had a discussion with my wife. So my show on July 22nd, the Dexter Jackson Classic, I am out of. Let me show you guys one more photo. So you saw the Thursday weigh-in photos. Those were Thursday. This was immediately after surgery. I had a halfway decent six-pack that you could see. It wasn't cut and sliced yet, but this was immediately after surgery. I literally look like I'm pregnant. It was, I don't know where that came from. They said it was all gas and swelling. Yeah, that was my first meal. And actually, the first meal wasn't too bad. Where's the other one? Yeah, they gave me these weird bandages. That's how big and fat I was. This light's killing me with this picture. That's how big I was. I literally looked pregnant. Horrendous. Not happy at all. This was probably the worst picture. I mean, that's like a pregnant woman that's just given birth. It's fucking horrible. So we had the discussion. Oh yeah, this was the color of my urine. It looked like almost like Coca-Cola. It was not a happy time in the hospital. So we had a discussion with my wife and I, and we said, you know what? I'm going to be able to go back to work on the 10th of July. Go back to work. And so I'll be up and around. I'll be walking. I'll be doing the cardio. So the 22nd, we're actually leaving Friday the 21st. We're still going to go to the show. We're going to go and observe and watch the show, at least see the competition that I would have competed against. It's going to be hard because I really, really wanted to be up there competing. I'm really pissed that I'm not. But we're going to go anyway. Jacksonville's a pretty cool place. We're going to meet some old friends, have dinner. I guess the only positive side is I can kind of have the cheat meal of the in-house breakfast every day without packing all my food to bring myself to be on my contest diet still. So we're going to go, we're going to watch it and come home. I'm back in the gym now. The surgeon during the follow-up had said, well, originally I was going to say no more than 20 pounds. I want you lifting. But she's like, you're not a normal person. You're not normal by any means. You're a gym person. You're a bodybuilder. You're used to lifting heavier weights than most people. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to lift and listen to your body. If it hurts or it feels heavy, you feel straining in here, lighten up, back off, and go lighter. So far, I'm not using anywhere near the weights I did off season and building up towards pre-contest. But I'm able to lift, get the blood flowing, get a pump. Cardio's going pretty good. I'm up to an hour on the treadmill. So that's not bad. Lost a bunch of the bloat already, but still nowhere near. I would never step on stage looking like this. I got my posing suits in the mail today, and I'm looking at them going, yeah, there's no way I would put this on right now. It's just, no. My abdominals are not close to being in shape to wear this. So I will be keeping them. They're awesome suits by Cynthia James, Elite Posing Suits. So I will save those for my next contest. So it's going to be slow. I'm starting back on my training. I'm going to start building up, increasing the pounds, increasing the food. Go into off-season mode again, try to gain some more muscle. And 20 weeks out from my next show that I pick, I'll start my pre-contest diet, nail it, and I'll keep you guys posted. In the meantime, I will be doing more podcasts. I'm going to try to have some more guests on here. Going to branch off a little bit, do a couple of other rants. I've got a couple of topics lined up. Hope you guys like them. Hope you guys will, that don't already follow me or subscribe to the show, will hit the like button and the subscribe button. Trying to increase my followers. If you get a chance this Thursday, I'm going to be doing Instagram Live with Leslie Timble from RX Muscle. So watch me on there. Check out my Instagram, Ryudawg, RYUUDAWG at Instagram. Bill Heron at Facebook. Check me out, like, follow. Hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube, and let's start building up the content again. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep training hard. Enjoy. Cheers. I love you guys. Thanks to all the people that wish me well and kept my spirits up while I was laid up at home the first week. Love you guys. I will be back. This is still huge on my bucket list. At least 1 or 2 shows, maybe more, but at least 1 or 2, and then we'll see what happens from there. Love you guys. Peace. And I'll check you guys out soon.